God. We worship to glorify your name. In Jesus' name I pray and believe.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, thank you so much, Spacey. Now, we requested you people to send in the topics that you really want to look at. And one of the topics that appeared most was about linear programming. Yes, that is one of the topics. Other people suggested vectors, that is vector 2. Some people asked for geometry, others asked for circle properties, but we are going to do our best and see which one we can work with and which one we can be able to do within this short holiday. But today, I want us to look at mainly linear programming, and then, okay, we are going to look at everything within linear programming. And I know within 2 or 3 lessons, we can be in position to complete that topic. What key things do we need to know? In order for us to do linear programming, I think you might have heard from your friends that linear programming is one of the numbers that appears almost every year. Every year, that number appears, comes in section A, section B. But in order for you to allow me to first mute everyone, I think. So it comes in both in paper 1, and it comes in section A and section B, numbers concerning inequalities. So meaning that if at all you are to obtain a distinction in math, you must at least know how to deal with inequalities. So the first thing we are going to deal with, in order for us to dive into linear programming, we must have understood how to draw inequalities, how to extract equations from inequalities, and how to deal with everything concerning solving and linear inequalities. So the first thing we are going to look at is going to be inequalities. And let me hope everyone has a graph book or a graph paper. Kindly just confirm, do you have a graph book or graph paper with you?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. But in case you don't have, then I'll ask you to improvise. Now, the first thing we are going to look at, how do we graph inequalities? Because like I've told that linear programming requires us to graph. So how do you graph? That means that you must have understood how to deal with linear inequalities. So let me ask you, the first thing we are going to look at is what we call graphing linear inequalities. So write that in your book as your heading, graphing linear inequalities. Are we there? Finished? Has everyone finished writing that? Oh, did I mute you? No, you can't. Can we continue now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I'm going to first ask you still to first write those words, and then I will talk about them. When you finish, you let me know. Are we there? Is everyone finished? Not yet. Have we finished?
Not yet.
Okay. So feel free, when I ask, feel free to unmute yourself and talk.
Now we are done.
Okay, thank you. Anyone who has not yet finished? Okay. Now, when we are dealing with inequalities, there are signs that we must know. One of the signs is what we call the greater than sign. And then we have the less than. Whenever you are graphing and you find that your sign is greater than or less than, then always you must use lines that are dotted. So how do dotted lines look like? They look like this, or what you call dashed lines. So this one shows that, take an example. When I say X is greater than 5, in our solution set, who can list for us which numbers shall we have? X greater than 5. Which numbers shall we have in that set? Yes, can someone just list for us which numbers shall we have?
6, 7, 8, 9, then so many others.
Yes, and then so many. Now, this one shows that in our solution set, 5 is not inclusive. So in inequalities, to show that 5 is not inclusive, we shall always use a dotted line or what we call a shaded line. However, if at all I had X greater or equal to 5, this means that in our inequality, what's going to be our first value?
5.
5. Very good. So 5, 6, 7, and so on. Now, this shows us that 5 is part of our solution. So meaning that in order, when I'm graphing, I'll use a bold line. I'll use a line that is bold like that to show that 5 is also part of the solution. So now this is the part where most of us at times go wrong. We forget to distinguish between the less than and what we call the less or equal to. Then we have another region, what we call the unwanted region and what we call the wanted region. Now here we need to be very careful. Always the question, some questions may tell us to shade the unwanted region. However, they may as well trick us and they say shade the wanted region. So you need to be very careful, not to cram, but to understand. In case the question says otherwise, then you need to understand what you call the unwanted region and what you call the unwanted region. So when they talk about unwanted region is that region that doesn't fulfill the inequality. That region where the inequality is not valued. Take an example. When you look at this solution set where we have X greater or equal to 5, here we have numbers 5, 6, 7, and so on. That means that any number that is not within our solution set is not so important, is not needed. Take an example, numbers. Which numbers are not wanted? Can we mention which numbers are not wanted?
3, 2, 1, 4.
3, 2, 1, 0, -1, and so on, because they are not part of our solution. So that means that when you are shading such, that means that the part that has those numbers is the part that you are going to shade. Okay, thank you. Now let's look at the first example. Now, what are we going to do? We are going to use our graphs, our graph books, but we can use one graph in order for these first ones. Now they're asking us that show the region represented by the inequality x less than -2. What do? We shall go on our graph and I will draw a line. I'm going to draw, let me pick another color. Let me pick red. This is my line. I will draw my line, use a ruler, and I can draw another line here like this. Now, don't forget to put the demarcation points that this is my y-axis and this is my x-axis. So I'll put here, allow me to put start from 1, this is 2, 3, 4. Then this is 0, -1. I can have 1, I can have 2, I can have 3, I can have 4. Now, what are they telling us? They're telling us that shade the region x less than -2. Now, can we first mention, you must be knowing, how do you draw this line? Now, in inequalities, we cannot draw a line x less than -2. Why? We need to first bring in the equal sign, what we call the boundary equation. So now we shall remove this less than and we equate and we bring in the equal sign and we say the line x is equal to -2. Now that is what you are going to do. You are going to draw the line x is equal to -2. Now, what do you know? Now you must know how this line, I'm going to change my graph such that I can accommodate -2. I do not put it there, but I know your graph may accommodate it. Allow me to change such that I can accommodate -2. Sorry, I can put it here and here. Make sure you can have -2. So this is 1, 0, -1, -2, -2, 2, 3. So remember, this is your y-axis and this is your x-axis. Now, the line x is equal to -2. I want you to type in the chat. Is it a horizontal line? Is it a vertical line? Type in the chat and you let us know what you think that line looks like. Is it vertical? Is it horizontal? Anyone? Okay, Space is saying it is vertical. Good. What about others? What do you think that line? Okay. It says it is vertical. Okay, I've got two answers that line is vertical in nature. Now this line is vertical and it passes through -2. Now it means that when you are drawing it, you are going to go where there is -2 along the x-axis. -2 is here, and then you are going to draw this line. However, take note of that this inequality, -2 is not inclusive since it is just less than. So that means I'm going to come here and I use a dotted line. I draw a dotted line that is passing through -2, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. And now this is my line, x is equal to -2. So x lines run vertically. Y lines run horizontal. So this is my line. The next thing I'm going to ask myself is to shade, because they are telling us to show the region represented by the inequality x less than -2. Now, may I ask, when they tell us x is less than -2, which values shall we have? Which values are less than -2? Which values are less than -2? You can raise up the hand and you share with us. Yes, Faith? Yes? Oh, your voice is a bit low. It is negative?
-3.
Uh-huh.
-5.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Faith. That is true. Now, these values -3, -5 are less than -2. That means that that is the region that is being needed because they are telling us to show the region represented by this inequality. So what am I going to do? That part that has -3, -5 is the one that I'm going to shade. And when you look at our graph, this is the part this side that has -3, -5. So I'll come, I get my ruler, I shade this part like that. So this is the part that is being represented by this inequality of x less than -2. Are we together on that?
Yes, sir.
Any person with a question? So, okay, let me hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, Bena?
Sir, is it the region representing x less than or equal to -2, or it's just x less than -2?
Less than -2, Bena. It has x less than -2. The region
Okay,
being
I was seeing this other x.
Oh, this one. This one, I think I was showing you something. I was showing you that we shall replace this.
Okay.
Any other question? Yes, Arthur?
Well, when you're drawing the inequality in the graph, do we have, when it is x is less than -2, we make the line dotted, and when it's x is equal to or less than -2, we make a straight line?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Has everyone finished drawing? And we continue.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. People saying yes. Okay. We can continue. Do you want to try out this number on your own?
Yeah.
Okay. First try. First try. Let everyone first try on your graph.
Micro.
So let's first try and then we can do it together. Have we finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay. May I have, can we have someone to show us? You can turn on your camera and then you show us how your graph looks like. Feel free. Just turn on your camera and then you share with us how your graph is looking like. Who wants to show us how you have drawn your graph? Yes, I want someone to show us how you have drawn your graph. Monica, are you showing us? Okay. Okay. Let me share again, and then we check out on our graphs. Now, someone. Okay. Duke, you want to show us? Okay. Now, our graph, we have y less than 3. Now, to know the region we are going to shade, let us first look at our solution set. Which values are less than 3? Which values are going to be within our solution set? Can we mention them?
2,
2,
1, 0.
0,
and so on. Good. That means that the region you are going to shade is the region having all those values, because that is the region they want us to show. So I'm going to come, I draw my straight line, I draw another line. This is my x-axis, and this is my y-axis. So I will say this is 1, this is 2, -1, -2, 1, 2, 0, -1, -2. So like we say that when there is y, those lines are always horizontal. Now I'm going to go on my graph. I look at where there is 3. Oh, sorry. My graph is not reaching 3, but I think you can understand. Oh, okay. My graph is not reaching 3, but I can do, let me just put 3's here, and this is my axis. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come where there is 3, I draw a straight line, because I have to draw the line y is equal to 3. But since it is not, 3 is not part of the solution, then I will use dotted lines. So I'll come and say dot, 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 dot. Then after I label that this is my line, y is equal to 3. So we have said that the region that is needed is the region having 2, 1, and 0, which is this region down. So I'll come and I shade like that. Was everyone having something like that?
no, sir.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, people who didn't have that, what did you shade? Or what confused you?
Sir, me,
Mm.
I thought we showed the unwanted region, not the wanted. So I shaded up.
Oh, okay. Now the question wanted us to show the region that is represented by y less than 3.
Okay, sir.
Yes, but in case that they wanted us to show the unwanted, then like for questions that require unwanted, in most cases, they are going to be specifying. But if at all they just show us, then you have to show. Any other question, or we can continue? We continue?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there is another one here. First try. Let's try. So let's try draw. Okay, I think people have finished. Has everyone finished? We are trying out Ronet. We are trying out that number. Have we finished or we are still working out?
We are finished.
You have finished. Arthur has finished. Okay. Has everyone finished? Okay. I'm seeing people have finished. Very good. Okay, some people are still working out. Okay, let's give them some few minutes to finish. But as they are working out, can someone tell us what is going to be the nature of the line? Is it bold? Is it dotted?
A bold line.
A bold line. Very good. Very good. So which values are going to be in the set? Which values are going to be in your set?
We're going to have
1, good.
2, 3, and then onwards.
Okay, perfect. Perfect, yes. So let me just draw a line here and here. Please for use the ruler, assuming this is my 0. This is 1, 2. This is 1, 2, 3. This is -1, -1. Always it is a good culture to label your graph that this is x-axis and that this is y-axis. So since our line here we are going to draw is y is equal to 1, it means that your line must pass through 1. So I'll come where there is 1 here, and I draw a horizontal line that is bold. And I can label that this is my line, y is equal to 1. So the region that is needed, because they are telling us to show the region represented by y greater or equal to 1, is the region having 1, 2, 3. So I'll expect everyone to shade this region. Have we shaded like that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Great, great. Okay. Yes, Jojo.
How comes one is part of the members of the set?
How come one is part? Anyone who wants to give us the answer? Yes, Precious.
Well, like I said, thing greater or equal to, so the one has to be included in the set.
Jojo, have we understood that?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Thank you, Precious. Yes. The moment you see greater or equal, then it must be included. Yes, Precious.
When we are making the bold line, I thought that the one is supposed to be included, and the shading, well, drawing the line, we're doing it at 1 on the y-axis, and I'm not getting your shading. Yes, I understand that it's supposed to be greater than, but I thought the one is supposed to be included in the shading. So,
Yes, we have. Okay, someone wants to talk. Yes. Okay. Yes. Patience. Yes, one must be included, and what shows that we have included one is that we have included it here. Now now this region, I think you are talking about this region here. Is it? Fishes?
yeah, it's Chamarron.
Yes. Are you talking that why is it that we have not shaded this region here?
It's fine. I've got it. The one is included because the line is a bold line. So yeah, I've got it. Thank you.
Okay. Now we are now adding on. Now, what about when we find ourselves with such an equation and we want to draw it? Now, the first thing we always want to form, or what we must form first, we are going to first come up with our equation. We don't, the inequality, you cannot plot it, but you can plot an equation. So the first thing we are going to do, we are going to first come up with an equation. So we have y greater or equal to x minus 2. So in order for us to remove the inequality, we shall just come and say y is equal to x minus 2. So where there is an inequality, we remove it and we represent it with an equal sign. 2, you must know what is the nature of your line. So when you look at our inequality, what is going to be the nature of this line? So when they talk about nature, you are looking, is it a bold line? Is it a dotted line?
A bold line.
A bold line. Why?
We have greater or equal sign.
Thank you, Henry. Because we have greater or equal sign. So whenever we have greater or equal or less or equal, then we use a bold line. Now, we are going to draw a line, this line here. Who can remind us, how do we draw a straight line? Anyone to remind us how we draw a straight line? Do you recall how to draw a straight line? Anyone with an idea? Okay, let me check. Okay. Now, when we are drawing, this is a straight line. We shall draw a table. So we are going to form a simple table. In our table, we are going to have two values. One of them is going to be x another value will be y. Now, when you have an equation, we always, it is better you get some negative values and some positive values. So I can say, I'm going to start from -1, my x 0, 1, and then 2. Are we together on that? Are we together on that point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, what are we going to do next? The next thing is we are going to obtain our value for y. Now, to obtain our value for y, we have y is equal to x minus 2. Now, when you look at the first value, we have x -1. So I'll come in my equation. Where there is x, I put -1. So I'll have -1 minus 2. So what do we get? -1 minus 2. What do you get as your answer?
-3.
-3. Very good. So I'll come and I put here -3. I go to the next one. I have y is equal to x minus 2. Our x is 0, not so? So I'll say 0 minus 2. So what is 0 minus 2?
-2.
-2. Good. So I'll come here and I put -2. Yes, Mugaiga, you have a question? Mugaiga, you have a question? Yes, unmute Mugaiga.
I was asking.
Yes, continue.
How do you say the line is dotted?
I'm not getting you.
How do you underline is board?
Anyone who is speaking his question is breaking a bit, so I'm failing to get him.
I'm asking.
He's asking, how do you know whether the line is dotted or bold?
Oh, okay. Can you respond to him?
The line is bold when it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, and it's dotted when it's just greater than or less than.
Mugaiga, have you got that? Yes. So Mugaiga, the moment you see on your inequality, there is a small dash here down, then that one is a bold line. Once you find that your inequality doesn't have this line down, then that one you used a dotted line. Okay. So can we complete? Put 1 and 2 and you tell me which answers you are getting here in the remaining spaces. In the remaining spaces, what are you getting?
-1.
-1.
And 0.
And 0. Is everyone getting those two values? Are we getting those two values?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are going now to get the coordinate, extract the coordinates from the table. So we shall have the x and we shall have the y. Can we what is our first coordinate?
-1, -3.
-1, -3. Good. The next one?
0, -2.
Okay. Continue, Faith.
1, -1.
Okay. And the last one?
2, then 0.
0. Okay. Very good. Now I'm going to ask everyone now to plot those points on your graph. Plot those points on your graph. Make sure you balance the graph. We are plotting. Plot those coordinates. Let's plot those coordinates. Hope the line is coming out. Hope the line is coming out. Okay. No? Oh, people have finished. Anyone who is still? Okay. Okay, I think people have finished. Okay. Okay. Allow me to draw mine here. So one of the coordinates is 0, 2, 2, 0. So I have a coordinate here. Let me use another color. I have a coordinate here, and then 0, -2. Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay. Now we are going to draw our line in a straight line, but since we say it is bold, I'm going to draw like that, but for you use the ruler and draw something very good. So our equation was y is equal to x minus 2. So it is bold. Has everyone drawn that? Do we have that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So our equation was y greater. Okay, yes, I wanted to just confirm, sorry. Our equation is y greater or equal to x minus 2. Now, what are we going to do? We are going to look out which region is represented by that inequality. Because they are telling us to show the region represented by that inequality. Now, what do? You are going to come, you look at the line. When you look at the line, we have two regions. I have this region above the line. This is the above the line, which I'm going to call A. I have this region down the line here. This one here is B. Now what you do, you select any point. You use one point you want, above the line or below the line. So where do you want us to pick the point? Above or below?
Below.
Below, okay. Now, when you look below, can we choose any coordinate that is below this line?
-3. Y equal to -3.
We are looking for a point. You pick a coordinate. Are you getting it?
Maybe let me say 0, -3.
0, -3. Okay. Is everyone seeing 0, -3 is this side below the line? That is 1. Has everyone seen that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, after picking this coordinate, you come and you test it into your original inequality. Now, where there is, this is x, this is y. where there is X, I'm going to put 0. Where there is Y, I put -3. So Y is -3 greater or equal to X is 0 minus 2. So I'll end up with, let me remove this such that, such that I'll have -3 greater or equal to -2. Now you ask yourself, is -3 greater or equal to -2?
No.
No, not so.
No.
Is everyone think that?
Yes.
So that means that region is the unwanted, since it does not fulfill the inequality. Are you getting it?
Yes.
But since they told you to show the region that is represented by this, it means that now, since this is the region that is being represented by this, it is automatically going now to be the above region. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so I'll come and I shade up like that. So this upside down, this up is what we call the wanted region. And now this one's the one that does not satisfy the inequality, we call it the unwanted region. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to tell you one thing, that at times when you look at the line you have drawn and there is a 0, 0 somewhere above your line or below the line, that point is always good to deal with. So in case you want, you can as well choose that coordinate, because when you look at 0, 0, 0, 0 is above the line. So for you can come and say, I'm going to use 0, 0 as my point. So that means that my Y is 0 greater or equal to X, which is 0 minus 2. So you have 0 greater or equal to -2. And this inequality is true, that 0 is greater than -2, because having no debt is better than someone who has a debt. Not so?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that's why 0 is above. Should we continue?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, Eva.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
This question is about these points you've told us to choose. Is it that we have to choose from the lower part of the line, or we can also choose from the upper part of the line to prove the inequality?
Oh, okay. You'll choose from any part you want. Have you got it?
Yes.
Okay, any part you want will give you the answer.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay. Now I have here. So I want you to, we are going to draw a graph and we shade for those parts on the same graph. Yes, Calvin.
Is there where I can obtain the recorded lesson?
Yes, yes. After, we shall send the recording after, Calvin.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Where are you getting the challenge?
My network is disturbing.
Oh, sorry. So we are drawing on the same graph. Let me hope it is going on well. Hey, people have finished. Lonette has finished. Shares has finished. Okay. Good. And the rest? Okay, Duke has finished. Okay, anyone who wants to share with us and show us what you have got? I want someone to just you share your photo and we look at it. Who wants to share? The people who have finished. Species, Duke, do you want to share? Ronette? Okay, Mugaiga, do you want to share? I want to look at a photo of someone who has finished, like sharing with us your work. Arthur, have you finished?
Yes.
Okay, is it possible for you to share? I don't know.
I don't think the picture would be clear because I'm using a laptop.
Oh, okay. Okay. But can you describe for us what you have got?
In what kind of way?
Like which are you getting a shape, something like that?
Oh. A square.
A square. Is everyone getting a square? What is another figure?
It's a square.
It's a square. Okay. And which region have you shaded? Inside us.
Yeah,
Yes.
inside.
Okay.
The square is shaded inside, and there is something like a line. The first line that we drew is crossing part of that square.
Okay, you have drawn something like this, eh?
Yeah, so yeah, with 4 shops inside.
Okay, okay, okay. Then that is okay.
But then there are some faded lines, not all lines are borrowed.
Oh, yes, yes, true. There are some faded lines. Why? Like this line, and which other line? This one. These ones are dotted, eh? Hope you have looked at
Then the
them.
line x equal to -3 also.
X is
Oh,
equal to
There's a line on the
this.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is the one that is dotted, in fact. Okay, that is very good. This one is dotted. Then also this one up. This one is bolded. Oh, okay. Y greater than -3. This down one is bolded. This one is also bolded. This one. Okay, that is it. Okay, that was good. Thank you. Okay, let's move now. You have energy. So that was a brief thing concerning inequalities. Now we are going to go into linear programming. Now, under linear programming, I'm going to first take you through the common symbols that they use when it comes to linear programming. You're going to find symbols here. It's not, it's going to be English, but you look at it and then know. Once they mention this word in a statement, this is what it means. So now you are going to draw your table the way you are seeing mine, and take note of those words. Those words are key whenever it comes to word problems concerning inequalities. Are we together? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's draw our table. Yes, Precious.
Well, there's a question I've come across, and they told me to share the wanted regions and so on. Then they go ahead to ask me to find the area of one of the regions, either the wanted or the unwanted. So
find the what?
Find the area of one of the regions.
Oh, okay. We are going to look at it. We are going to look at it. Yes, in fact, I think there are very many questions here. We are going to look at it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so let's first draw our table, and then we take note of those words.
So maybe you will correct your heading. Here's inequality repeated.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the correction. And it is, I think, I'm missing here specific. Thank you. Jojo, I'm saying that you are lost.
I was, but I've now picked.
Oh, okay. Can I scroll up a bit, or we are still writing?
Scroll up.
Scroll up.
I scroll up. Techno, let me disable. Let's complete. Have we finished?
I have finished.
Okay. Okay. Any person who is still writing? Or we can continue.
Continue.
Okay, good. Now, some of these ones, you don't need to cram. You don't need to cram. But I'm going to just highlight on a few that are going to be very common. This word is going to be common. this word is going to be very common. Less than, below. Those are some of the common words they use, even fewer than. Then here, greater than, more than. This one is going to be very common. Yes. And this word, exceeds, it's going to be very common. So I'm taking for you the ones at least you must know. Then when I come here, this word is going to be common. The word at least is going to be very common. When I come here, less than is going to be common, and the word at most. Are we together with those words?
Yes.
Yes, at least those ones you must know that they are going to be very common. Even this one is at times very common, does not exceed. Now, we are going to look at the first one, and now we are looking at forming linear inequalities. We are going to look at how do we form linear inequalities, and I have my first example. So that is your heading, and we are looking at forming linear inequalities. Now, whenever they give you a word problem, the first thing you look at is that what is the inequality word that they have used in that statement, in that sentence. That is the first thing you identify. Underline it. Now, I want someone to read for us that first statement, example 1, and you tell us what inequality word have they used. Who wants to read for us, and you share with us which inequality word have they used? Yes, Duke.
There must be at least 2 fields of beans. The inequality word is at least.
At least. Very good. So you come, you underline that word. Now, to form the equation, so when Duke, you tell us again, which inequality sign are you going to use? For at least. Yes, Henry?
I'm going to use greater or equal to.
Very good.
Because at least means 1 or more. Okay, means for that case 2 or more than that.
2 or more than that, yes. So when you go back to the table, you'll find at least here. So meaning that the inequality sign you use is greater or equal. So at least 2 means that you have 2 gardens or more than that. So what do? We shall say that let me use another color. Here in math, it is always good to define that let the field of beans be represented. Which letter can we use?
X.
Be represented by X. So you tell us, what are we going to write now? We shall say X.
Greater equal to.
2. Very good. Has everyone understood that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. We go to the second number. Who wants to read for us, and you identify for us the mathematical? It should be now a girl. You read, and then yes, Precious.
The question said there must be at most 2 fields of maize. So the inequality word is at most. Then at most, you're going to use the less than or equal to sign.
Okay, very good. So still we shall come and say that let the field of maize be represented by, which letter can we use?
Letter K.
K. So now we shall say K is less or equal to 2. Anyone we are leaving behind? Okay. Should we continue?
Yes.
Okay. Can we have a boy for number 3? Any boy? You read for us and then you identify. Yes, Galax? Galax? Okay. I'm saying Duke. Okay, Duke.
Not more than 8 fields are to be sown with maize or beans. The inequality word is not more than, and in that case, we shall use less than.
Less than. Okay, good. Let me know people are picking. So when you see, you identify that inequality word, you can go back in the table in case you have not yet mastered them, and you ask, what is not more than? Where does it lie? Such that you know the inequality sign that you are going to use. Hope we are together. Not more than. So not more than is here, which is less or equal. So let everyone write that.
Right where?
Here, not more than 8 fields are to be sown with maize or beans. But now, there is something you need to know. That here we have 2 things. We have maize and we have beans. So meaning that when you are representing, you must take into consideration the 2. So I'm going to say, let the field of maize and beans be represented by M and B respectively. Are we together on that? So I'll say M plus B should not be more than 8. Friends, have we got that clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, is it Precious? How do you pronounce your name?
Teacher, I'm not understood the explanation for that question. I'm begging your pardon, please.
Okay. Now, patients, they have told us that not more than 8 fields, but here we have 2 things. We have maize or beans. That means that if you are having your field, like a field like gardens, let me say pieces of a garden, like this can be my fields, something like this. They are telling us that in this field in the garden of yours, you are going to plant 2 things. One of them is going to be maize and another thing must be beans. But they are telling you that when you plant your maize and beans, it should not go more than the 8 fields that that are there maybe. In other words, you may find that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here I have 9 fields. That means that when you are planting, in the first one, you can put maize, beans, beans. But when you have maize and beans, the total number of fields must not go beyond 8. In other words, when you get your garden where you have planted your beans and the garden where you have planted the maize, the total number of fields, like I can call them the paddocks, must not go more beyond 8. I don't know the pictures, we're on the same page.
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So I want everyone to try number 4 on your own. Identify the word. Identify the inequality word. No. Oh. Identify that inequality word being used. identify that word, and then go on to write the inequality. Is the inequality coming out for that part? Okay, so can I assume everyone has finished writing your inequality? Has everyone finished?
Yes.
Yes. So check. Do we have that?
Yes.
Okay, that is very good. In case that's what you have, that is very good. Okay, now we continue to number 5. Continue to number 5. I want everyone to first try, and I'm going to ask those who finish that number 5, feel free to type in the chat what you have. Think about it. Okay. Let me know paper. Okay. Okay, paper. Okay, people. Okay, I'm looking in the chat. Okay. Okay, okay. I'm seeing people have tried. So, good. That is nice trial. Nice trial. They have told us that there must be at least twice as many X as Y. So what should our inequality look like? Okay. Someone is raising up the hand. Please go on. Yes, Joel. Joel, unmute. Joel, unmute. Okay. Now here we have two things. We have X and we have Y. We have X and we have Y. But how do you write an inequality? I'm saying, okay, I've seen you. Okay, I'm saying varying answers, but I've seen two answers, but you're on track. Though, we need to be very careful. So they are telling us we have here two things. We have X and we have Y. Are we together on this point? Hope everyone is here. Now they're telling us at least, so at least we shall use greater or equal. So they're telling us twice as many X as Y. So I'll write this as 2, 2, 1. Are we together on that step? Not yet.
We're together.
We are together. Is everyone okay with that step?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So this means this is like a ratio. So I'll have X out of Y greater or equal to 2 out of 1, which means that when you do rough cross multiplying, you have, let me say you have X out of Y is equal to 2 out of 1. When you cross multiply, you'll have X times 1 is equal to 2 times Y, which is roughly X is equal to 2Y. So roughly it means that I'm going to just replace this. It means that this is the same as X greater or equal to 2Y. So that's how you write it. Do we have that?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how you write your statement. Yes, Jojo.
What if you say 2y greater or equal to x?
2y
greater or equal to x.
Okay. Oh, now here, the statement now changes. This one means that you'll have as twice as many y as x. Since here they are started as many x as y. So for yours here, it means it is the other way around. So you have changed the meaning because now the inequality has, like, you have changed these ones. Like in inequality, once you change these ones, then also the sign will have to change. I don't know that I've got it.
I have.
Okay, yes, Henry?
So what if I write as 2y less or equal to x?
That one is okay. That one is okay. 2y less or equal to x. That one is okay. So we are doing number 6. We are doing number 6. Okay. Have people finished number 6? Okay. Benford has finished. What about the rest? Okay. 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 Arthur. Okay. Okay. Hope that one is okay. Is everyone coming up with that answer?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So you're getting maybe P less or equal to 1,000.
1,000.
Okay. Hope Arthur, that's what also you have.
Yes.
Okay. Let's continue to number 7. Why we are taking time? Because remember, you need to know how to interpret those inequality signs. That's why we are taking time on them, such that we can be in position to interpret them very well. So let's try number 7 also. Duke, I kindly request you to revise your answer. Look at your answer again.
Orange, whatever.
Okay. Okay, Benford, that is okay. Arthur, that is okay. Duke, now that one is okay. No, Benford, something is not okay. Benford, something is not okay. Arthur, it is okay. Duke, it is okay. But Arthur and Duke, you can reduce those numbers. Are we getting the same answer? When you type in the chat, those who have, yes, Henry, that is okay. Now, when you look at number 7, you need to know how a rectangle looks like. That this is your rectangle. The perimeter of a rectangular garden whose length is X. So this is X and the width is Y. So who can tell us what is the formula for finding the perimeter of this rectangle? Hmm?
2x plus 2y.
2 into L plus W.
L plus W, okay. But what is your L and W?
The L is X and the W is Y.
Okay. So now that was the first thing you needed to know. They're telling us it's not
L is X.
X, okay, yeah. is not more than, so this is the mathematical word. So that means that your perimeter is not more than 20. So that means you'll say 2 into x plus y less or equal to 20. Now, one thing you need to know that in inequalities, what it is more or less like when you have an equal sign. So I'll expect you now for such a number to reduce further. That this 2 is common, so I divide by 2, I divide by 2. So this side I remain with x plus y less or equal to 10. Are we together on that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So your final answer can be x plus y less or equal to 10. Okay, good. Let's do the last one, number 8. Okay, so let me know people are trying. Okay, Eva, thank you for that trial. Okay, thank you, Eva. Let's keep trying, people. Okay, Anita, thank you so much. Eva, can you go on and reduce? Anita, that is good. Eva, look for the common factor. Okay, Henry, that is good. Henry, that is good. Arthur, that is good. Okay. Are the rest, are we on the same page? Are we leaving someone? Yes, Duke, that is good. Yes, I've not heard from Ruth. Ruth Ann, Akram, I've not heard from you. Bena, Barbara, Benji, Daniela, David Smith, Jovina, Joel, Lisa, Malcolm, Maria, Mercy, Faith. Okay, I've heard from Faith, Patrick. Okay. Okay, let me hope that is very good. Who wants to take us through how you have obtained your answer? Who wants to take us through? Yes, okay. Henry, it's okay, you can take us through.
Okay, the question reads, the total cost of X apples at Uganda shillings 1,000 each and Y oranges at Uganda shillings 200 each is below 5,000 shillings. 5,000 Uganda shillings. Now here we are told that each apple costs 1,000. So the cost of X apples will be 1,000 times X. Which gives us 1,000 X. And then the cost of Y oranges will be 200 times Y, which gives us 200 Y. Now, the inequality statement there is below, whose symbol is less, the less sign symbol. And we shall therefore say that then we have also been, there is another word there, and, which means we are going to sum or to add them. So we shall say 1,000X plus 200Y is less than 5,000. Then we can reduce that by dividing each term there by 200. And the final answer now, 1,000 by 200 gives us 5X. Then 200 divided by 200 gives us Y is less than 5,000 over 200 gives us 25.
Thank you so much. Any person with a question? Okay, Daniela and Smith, at least I've seen now your answers. Anyone with a question? Okay, is that part clear? Okay, yes, Bena.
Sir, why did he have to divide everything by 200?
Okay, Henry, first tell us why. Is Henry on?
200 is the highest common factor of those figures. Okay, like if you chose to divide through by say 100, you would take more steps. Like if to cancel out those zeros, then I just choose 200 because it's the highest common factor.
Okay.
Okay, okay, okay. I think now it is clear. Yes, and more now when we are going to be like graphing, once you leave your number in a form that is not simplified, then graphing will become very hard for you. So that's why always it is easy for us to reduce. I have some numbers here that we shall try out. Let me hope, I'm assuming everyone is on the WhatsApp group, but in case you are not on the WhatsApp group, you can take a screenshot. Finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but I will still share on the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, even this last, okay. I will still share on the WhatsApp group. Okay. Finished? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sure people are finished. Now, I think it is almost time. Do we still have some more time? Okay. Okay, according to, it is almost time. So what are we going to do? You are going to finish those numbers. When you finish, I think we shall open the group and you can post your work and you show us what you have done. And then when we meet, I think next week, then we shall look at now the word problems, more word problems. So we shall start looking at the different models, looking at the graphing. How do you graph these ones? How do we get the answers? Then we shall look at the word problems like that. So we shall start these word problems and then we see how to go about it. But before we go, I'm seeing some people with a question. Yes. Please.
Well, I'm requesting you to take back to the questions. Still taking a screenshot.
Oh, okay. Okay, hope you are seeing them now.
Number one, not quite well.
Finished?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so thank you so much for attending. But when you look at your timetable, I think you saw somewhere where we shall be doing some quizzes, and those quizzes are going to be like you are doing objectives. Okay, Akram, you lead us in a word of prayer. Those quizzes are going to help us to be able to equip ourselves with the knowledge on how we answer the objective questions. So I think we shall time them such that at least you can be able to do them in a given period of time. So on your timetable where you are seeing a quiz, they are going to be objective questions. In chemistry, we shall do. In physics, we shall do. In biology, all subjects that have objectives, we shall do, such that at least we get very sure that at least those subjects we can really pass. But next week, we shall include even others, all subjects with objectives, such that we keep on practicing. Let me hope that is very okay. Unless you have a question, but in case you don't have a question, Akram, you can lead us in a closing prayer.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Amen. Thank you so much, and I wish you a good day, everyone. Okay. Marco, I'm going to post the questions in the WhatsApp group. Okay, have a lovely evening, everyone. Bye.
You too, sir.